Could you maybe just start off by telling us a little bit about the district? If you were describing your district to somebody who didn't know much about it, how would you describe your district? What are the great parts about it? What are the issues that need work?
Sure. So the city of Lauderhill is a culturally diverse city, and we have about 72,000 residents in the city. It's centrally located. We have the only certified cricket stadium in the United States, and really thriving businesses. Of course, we've been impacted by COVID-19, just like everywhere else, but our businesses are resilient. And so this is a great city, great potential, great opportunities here. But at the same time, like every other city, we have areas of deficiencies. And so I just love this great city of Lauderhill. It is, as mentioned, very culturally diverse, and that's one of the great things with Lauderhill. And so just look forward to moving the city forward with my colleagues. We have done great work in the city so far. This is fairly a new commission, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
You mentioned in our questionnaire, we asked you for your top 3 issues in the city, and the first one you put down was public safety. Lauderhill, yes. Unlike a lot of smaller cities in Broward County that contract with the Broward Sheriff's Office, Lauderhill has the Lauderhill Police Department.
Yes.
So tell us a little about how the police department has been working. You cite public safety as your top issue. Is that something that that's an issue with the police?
Sure, indeed. Lauderhill does have its own police department. It's great as it relates to community policing. But at the same time, when we do need some more assistance and reinforcement, we do have to reach out to other cities or BSO, in fact. So the police department is working very hard, but it's an active city. There has been an uptick in crime just nationwide. And of course, Lauderhill has seen that as well. So in terms of the police, we do need some more police officers on the road. I believe right now we're about maybe 10 police officers short in the city of Lauderhill, but we have put together a budget for 2023, which will then be able to staff all police officers. Yes, for sure, in the city of Lauderhill, it's an urban community. That's what it's considered. And there are a lot of, small crimes in the city. So one of the things that I have done is I've advanced, as mentioned in my questionnaire, a program called Unity in the Community. And what essentially that is working with the police department to be able to strengthen the relationship between the law enforcement and the residents alike. In particular, our youth, because we realize that as we do the stats, that most of the crimes committed in the city of Lauderhill is with youths between the ages of 15 to 21. So we want to be able to engage our community so that they understand that the police officers, in fact, they are here to support them, but at the same token, they will be able to see that we have a stance in the city. And one of the things that we're pushing forward is an initiative that's called Not in Our City. We want them to understand that all of the elected officials, all of the leaders in the city is completely against crime. And we'll do anything that we can to bring that down, because no matter what you have in the city, whatever treasures you may have here, and we do have great things in the city of Lauderhill. At the same token, if people are not willing to come in to see it and to visit, and we don't have quality residents, it really doesn't make sense. So we are putting together a comprehensive plan as well to be able to help with public safety.
Hey, your number 2 issue was economic development, and you don't have it on here, but the affordable housing and is a problem almost South Florida wide. And you write in economic development that redevelopment of older housing and commercial stock increases property values. No argument here. But as you redevelop your older housing stock, not only do property values go up, but the new resale prices around that, but the new resale prices of that redeveloped property, those tend to skyrocket.
Also, yes, they increase as well.
Balance that? How do you balance, the ever increasing property values and thus a larger property tax base for the city, which all good, with also making sure that you have homes that your residents can afford?
Well, that's really an interesting question because that is an issue really across the nation. The city of Lauderhill, we have to maintain our homes. And one of the things that we've realized is that a lot of those older homes that are there and of our houses.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we seem to have lost Commissioner Grant. I'm sure she'll probably be back on directly.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
For some reason, I'm unable, I don't know, I'm on the 14th floor downtown Fort Lauderdale. For some reason, the phone got disconnected. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay. So you
I
were
said-
basically talking about the redevelopment of our older housing and commercial stock.
The balance
and which will
between
increase.
affordable housing
Yes.
and redevelopment.
It is, it's quite challenging because when we're talking about affordable housing, that term in itself has changed. What really is affordable housing in this market? So we can't really focus on that, I don't believe. We have to ensure, though, that the redevelopment of our older housing and our commercial stock is something that is important in the city of Lauderhill because we have so many areas in the city, especially when we're talking about the east side of Lauderhill and the 56th Avenue, which is the central part of Lauderhill. A lot of those houses are decapitulated. So we have to ensure that those areas are developed. We have to have quality houses. Will some of those prices of the houses increase? Of course, but that's to be expected. So one of the things that we have to ensure as well, as we're doing that and as those are increasing, we have to try to develop as it relates to economic development so we have more jobs, better jobs in our cities, better jobs for our residents so that they can afford those houses versus leaving the houses in the state that it's in. And then, of course, that will maintain the property value to go down. And we don't want that in the city of Lauderhill.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Commissioner Grant, the seat you're running for in this election, is it a district or is it a citywide election?
It's a citywide seat.
Okay. What is your occupation, your regular occupation outside of city government?
Sure. I am actually Director of Business Development at a law firm, Yaboa Law Group.
Okay. Is Lauderhill raising its property tax millage rate for the coming fiscal year, or are you lowering it, or is it staying the same?
No, we are maintaining it. We're maintaining it. The millage rate this year is 8.199. It will be maintained in 2023. In 2020, it came down from 8.9898.
Okay. You're keeping the tax rate the same, but am I correct in assuming that because of the natural growth in property values, that the amount of revenue that it generates is more?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've also, the fire fee has also gone down as well because it's a cry from the residents. And so we're doing the best that we can to bring these rates down. So the fire fee, it was $576 in 2021 and 2022. And so the proposal is $550 in 2023. Our debt millage rate as well, it went down from 1.69 to 1.43.
Okay. You mentioned early on in your presentation that there's been an uptick in crime in Lauderhill. Why would that be? What's the reason for that?
I believe that the reason poverty breeds all sorts of things. And as a result of that, persons have lost their job. The pandemic also has helped to propel that. So most of the crime that's committed in the city is really with our young people. Sometimes they feel as if they don't have a sense of purpose. And also they don't realize that there are programs there to keep them occupied. So one of the things that we have done as well is to revisit some of the programs that we have for our youth in the city of Lauderhill and ensure that these programs are effective. We've also implemented some new programs. There are programs like Alive, which is more of a mentoring program. And we go into the various schools, in particular working right now with Lauderhill 6 through 12, where we go on a monthly basis and we bring in professionals and even individuals who come from the same neighborhood, have gone to the same school, have really done well for themselves, and are coming back to give forward. And so we are trying to really reach our young people because we understand that the mindset of the adults is probably at the state where there's hardly any change or will be any change. So we're trying to empower our young people so that we can get them to a place where they understand who they are and they don't have to commit these sort of crimes.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lauderhill doesn't have a high school, does it?
Lauderhill does have a high school, 6 through 12. It's a middle school and a high school that is merged together. Yes.
What's the name of it?
It's Lauderhill 6 through 12 Magnet School.
Okay, but is that a charter school or is that part of the Broward County School District or what is that?
It is a part of the Broward County School District.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, for example, in your neighboring city of Lauderdale Lakes, you know, Boyd Anderson's been there for generations, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
just came about 10 years ago. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a supporter of term limits for city officials in Lauderhill?
I am because I believe that a lot of times when elected officials come in, they're passionate, they have zeal, and they want to do good work. But after a while, 20, 30 years, they may become complacent. I do believe that fresh ideas and someone who's coming in with an innovative thought should have an opportunity as well to be able to lead the city. So yes, I do believe in term limits.
Okay. Anybody who's involved in city government as an elected official needs to know and be conversant and knowledgeable about one of the most important things in your life, I hope you would agree, is the city charter.
Yes.
The city charter governs almost everything you do. We just had
Yes.
a discussion, prior to this conversation with you, we just had a good conversation with the candidates for mayor. And frankly, the candidates got a little tongue-tied because we were trying to figure out if the charter prescribes 4-year terms for elected officials, why is Mayor Ken Thurston running for a 2-year term as mayor?
That's a controversial topic.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to venture there. The city attorney has given his opinion, and the city has adopted it, and therefore we are moving forward with the election.
Okay, so I'll chase this down. Is there a written legal opinion from the city attorney on this very question?
Yes, there is. There is.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, you've got your own race to run. I appreciate that
No,
guidance.
no. Yes, absolutely. But there is a written opinion.
Okay. Do you think there's anything the city of Lauderhill could do to make it easier for a startup business to get going? We've heard complaints and anecdotes in other communities near you that it's the red tape and the burdens and the bureaucracy with getting a business approved is too great.
I think there's some changes that have been made. When I was actually campaigning in 2018, I did hear the same things. But changes have been made in the city of Lauderhill. I think we have really advocated for our businesses as elected officials. And as a result of that, staff has worked with us to ensure that some of those red tapes are lifted. In addition to that, in terms of with the permits and trying to get those things and customer service and all of that, those are some of the concerns that we heard from our business owners, that it took a long time. But I think we have shortened that time as well. One of the things that I've realized too is that as a new commission, we are more accessible. And so the business owners can call us on our cell phones and talk with us, and we will be able to help them. And so I think that has helped as well versus just throwing them off to staff. So the business community in the city of Lauderhill, although they have encountered a lot prior to COVID and of course after COVID, they at this point are much happier because we've implemented different trainings in the city, online trainings. They can go on the website, the economic development. There's tons of trainings. Now a lot of things are electronic, and so the waiting period has been shortened. We made sure now that a customer service, there's more staff that is in economic development as well, and in various areas, the CRA to be able to assist them. So I think that we have done well as it relates to that. Absolutely. And furthermore, too, during the pandemic, we worked with the Florida Bankers Association, and we were able to get 2,500 businesses access to capital, where before a lot of them weren't able to get that because a lot of the banks were dealing with the larger size businesses. So we worked diligently with the 30 banks that placed infrastructure in their banks specifically for Lauderhill. And so as a result of that, the businesses are very, very, very pleased with what we have done so far for them.
Is the Caribbean American population in Lauderhill increasing?
Drastically, yes. We have a strong Caribbean population, Jamaican population, just English-speaking Caribbean population altogether, and also Creole-speaking now. We had an influx of Haitians, Americans in the city of Lauderhill. And so, yes, it is a diverse city, but diverse in the sense that we have a lot of Caribbean people, so from various islands. Mm-hmm.
How many Caribbean Americans are there on the city commission?
Well, it's very interesting because now everyone is claiming to be Caribbean. So I am assuming now the mayor, Ken Thurston, is Bahamian American, I was advised. And Lawrence Martin is Bahamian American as well. And myself, I was born in Jamaica, and so was Commissioner Dunn, Vice Mayor Dunn. And so we have 4 Caribbean Americans on the dais, and we have 1 African American. Has changed, right? From over the years, of course.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in knowing, I don't know how much time you have or how much effort you're able to
No,
devote.
continue.
No, I was going to ask you about door-to-door campaigning. I'd like to know what the demographic composition is like. Who lives in Inverary today?
Oh, Inverary has changed so drastically. And so we still have a strong Jewish population, but the Jews that are in Inverary now are primarily the religious Chabad community, right? So we have 2 synagogues in the city. And as a result of that, we've gotten a lot of Jewish Americans come into the city of Lauderhill, which is fantastic. So they live in Inverary. We still have a strong Caribbean American population in Inverary as well. And we do have some Italians, and we do have some just regular Anglo-Saxons that live here too. But I would say the majority of the people that are here in Inverary are Caribbean Americans, and possibly the Jewish population is increasing a great deal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your own police department.
Yes.
And we talked about public safety a few minutes ago. You've got your own police department, and a number of other similarly sized cities in Broward as yours, as you know, have decided to contract with the Broward Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
Why does Lauderhill maintain its own police force?
The community loves the fact that we have our own police department. We have done surveys upon surveys, and the consensus is they want their own police department. They're pleased with that. In fact, they say they like the fact that they can pick up their phone and call the assistant chief of police and be able to get a response. So they enjoy that. We also have the opportunity for more community policing, which includes coffee with a cop. They do bike rides with the community as well. And so there is that sense of just community commitment. And as a result of that, they really enjoy it. We have, as the program I mentioned previously, Unity in the Community. And so one of the things is that if you were contracted with BSO, it would be probably much more difficult to be able to have those type of programs that are just geared to the city of Lauderhill. And the residents, they have spoken. And they have said they really want the police department. Now there's some issues as well, right? So one of the things, we have a smaller department, and so when we have major issues, major crimes, we still have to call out to BSO. We still have to try to partner with other cities as well to be able to get support. But overall, the community really appreciates the police department and the work that they're doing.
What is the program that you described? What is Coffee with a Cop? What is that?
So Coffee with a Cop is just basically where the police department, they will go to a particular business in the city and highlight that business and just have coffee with the community. They invite the community to come out, and the community will then be able to engage with the police officers, ask questions. They also talk about various programs that are going on in the police department, and even sometimes be able to sit down and just dialogue one-on-one with the chief of police. So that's basically what they do. It's really just community policing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, any more questions?
No, I think we got everything we need. We got a good, well-rounded view of the city, and yeah, I appreciate you taking so much time with us, particularly with with your opponent being absent.
Yeah, Commissioner Grant.
Well,
I'm
yes.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir.
Well, my question is, have there been any opportunities for you and your opponent to appear together? Homeowners Association, Chamber of Commerce, church, anything?
I have not really seen her much, so no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And and the community has not called for it. I will say this though, when I first came on, I was extremely nervous. So I don't think that I did very well, but nonetheless, understand that my heart is in the community. I've been on the dais for just about 4 years now, and I've really delivered. And my community loves me. So I am looking forward to really serving again for another 4 years. There's so much more, of course, to learn about this community and so much more to do. Just want to be able to have the opportunity to work with my colleagues in moving the city forward.
Okay. I may have a couple of follow-up questions in the day or two ahead, but if so, I'll send you an email probably.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you kindly.
All right. So thank you very much for the time and being here this afternoon. We really appreciate it.